right after I quit, we got our first bad review, our first customer that didn't pay, like everything going downhill. And I'm like, what did I do? I was this close to actually call back my boss and say, hey, buddy, can I get my job back? Because my business is not working. And so now fast forward to this year, now it's our 9th year. So we turned 9 years on January. We just crossed the 5.7 million in total gross revenue.
Holy crap, Cristobal. No better person I want to have on an interview on a Friday morning than Cristobal. The energy, the drive, man. I cannot wait to go over some really good questions here. And if anybody's watching this live and you guys have any questions regarding residential, commercial, just business in general, this is the man you want an answer from. Cristobal, I'm going to start with just allowing you just some time to introduce yourself and, the businesses that you've built and currently are running right now, just to kind of educate our audience here a little bit more on who Cristobal is and what your business is all about.
My name is Cristobal. I'm originally from Mexico. I moved to the States back in 2004. I held different jobs, you could say, at the beginning, from dishwasher, landscaper, construction, and eventually a car salesman. Back in 2015, my wife, she started working for a cleaning company. It was a company that only used to do post-construction cleaning. And so my wife was hired as an employee first. And I think it was like the second week, the owner of that company wrote a little note with my wife. My wife didn't speak English at the time. And the note said something along the lines like, if you get a business license, we can pay you as a subcontractor. Essentially, we'll pay you a little bit more than, an employee. I got her license, right? And the original name of the company was Santos Mendoza's Cleaning, right? Literally just her name. Because I didn't even want to, it's still not thinking about the business, not at all. So now she's a subcontractor. She's working, maybe another 3 weeks goes by. Now she's working as a contractor. And that's when she tells me, like, Chris, we should definitely start our own cleaning business. We can do this. I'm like, you're out of your mind. For two things, looking back, I think the major, hurdle I saw is like cleaning. I'm a guy, cleaning didn't sound appealing. I don't know. And number two, we never had a business before. So I was like, what are we gonna do? Like, we don't even know how to run a business. But that was enough, to really plant the seed. Because I'll go to work and I started thinking like, man, what if we just give it a shot? Worst case scenario, we fail, we go back to what we're doing. And I said, well, let's do it. And it was very informal, right? Didn't even open a business bank account or anything. We still just working with her license under her name. And the deal was this. I just didn't want to leave my job. I was getting, I had a good salary. I had a vision, medical, dental, and 401k, all the benefits. And working from behind a desk, I was like, I don't want to leave this. I'm happy with this.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, listen, how about I'll post some ads on Craigslist, because at the time that's all I knew. Actually, that was one of my duties at the car dealership, posting cars on Craigslist and then answer phone calls. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do the same. Post some ads on Craigslist. At the time we were free, and I will answer the phone. You do the jobs. Let's see where it goes. Still thinking that, hey, the goal here is maybe get one house a day and make enough money just to get us by. So my wife by herself, after a week, she hires her best friend, Marisol, essentially was her first employee. And then just keep doing the jobs. I'm still doing everything under the table, getting paid in cash, no CRMs, no software, nothing. I used to do the invoices on Excel. And then I used to bring contracts everywhere. Like I would make people sign a contract for residential back in the day, because I thought that was just standard.
Yeah.
We opened the business in January of 2015. By March, now it's getting more busy. People are actually now paying us on checks, some people in cash. Some other people are already asking to make payments on credit card. I'm like, man, how do you take credit cards? So I started researching. I found Square. I'm like, okay, Square it is, and that's when I started really having a track of all the money that we were making. That is the month that I realized that there was big potential. it was only my wife and her best friend and me. I will help over the weekends. By March 31st of 2015, I run the report and it was $18,000 total gross. Oof. I was like, man, she's bringing more money than I am, and she gets home before I do. So there is potential here, and also at the same time, I was kind of getting bored of the job, even though it was good. Whoever being in the car business will relate to that. Usually the managers are always grumpy. I don't know what. They're always yelling. They're always like, hey, go and say this to the customer. Oh, and do this and do that. So I was kind of getting tired of that as well. And I'm like, I think this is the time. So I quickly jumped on over and decided to take the plunge. And then the rest is history, man. From there, we started doing the cleanings ourselves. And obviously, nothing was perfect. Actually, right after I quit, we got our first bad review, our first customer that didn't pay, like everything going downhill. And I'm like, what did I do? I was this close to actually call my boss and say, hey, buddy, can I get my job back? Because my business is not working. But no, we decided to just stay on our lane and just keep going. And from there, it was more like a matter of, okay, what did we do wrong? And what can I do to prevent that from happening again? And from there, it was just little by little. And so now fast forward to this year, now it's our 9th year. So we turned 9 years on January. We just crossed the 5.7 million in total gross revenue. And we currently have 22 employees. Well, I would say they're not employees. Half of them are employees. The other half is subcontractors, ex-employees that turn into subcontractors. So I have like a hybrid operation right now.
Holy crap, Cristobal. Let me bring everybody back, and I want to highlight some key points because you dropped some gems right there. One of the biggest ones that I know a lot of people can relate to and also find value to, because I'm going to ask you this question, which is, when you quit your job, all of a sudden, coincidence, right? People didn't pay. People start leaving some type of review that is negative, and overall problems start arising. Just a coincidence. It's like when you go all in, this happens, right?
There you go.
What was kind of like, because you mentioned to me, which is like, okay, great. Like I was this close about to call my boss and go back to work because of these issues. What was that flick or switch that got you to be like, you know what? This might be part of the process. Like we just got to stick to it. Was it just you getting kind of like sitting down as like, oh my God, like this stuff happens and we got to fix it? Or like what flicked in your mind to be like, okay, great. We can fix this. We can continue, even if this is the issue.
That's a great question. And honestly, for me, I thought, it was a mistake that the first non-paying customer, we didn't ask for credit cards. I remember it was a move out. We did the move out and the person just disappeared. Wow. And I'm like, oh no, I'm chasing my money. Then the second one was also a move out, but this time the customer was not happy. So she left us a review. I mean, this long with pictures. So it looked pretty bad. And that really like, man, I don't know if I'm going to do this right. So you start doubting yourself. Like, maybe it's not the right move. Maybe I want to go back and to my safe position, right? Getting paid. Yeah. That's it. But for me, it was what made me click. And I'm like, no, I'm going to stick to it. It was the amount of money that we have made so far. I was like, I know if I can just fix these issues, I can just continue. And then you also touch another one, problems, right? We all gonna run into problems. There is a new devil at every level. Once that you conquer this level and you think, nothing's wrong, and you get to the next level, you're gonna run into issues. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna, figure out what did I do wrong. That's important. What went wrong, and what do I need to fix it? So for me, from there, I was like, okay, let's start collecting credit cards upfront, just for, I don't want to be chasing my money. And number two, let's use checklists, because we didn't have checklists. So like this time, by having a checklist, I want to make sure that whoever goes and do the job is going to do it right, because they have to go through the checklist. So from there, it was like, I'm just going to stick to it. I'm going to keep doing it. And so, yeah, that was pretty much my mindset at the time. I was like, let's figure it out. Let's prevent it from happening. And then just keep going.
Got it. No, I love it. And I'm glad that you mentioned some of the key things, and I'm going to dig a little bit deeper because this is like a critical point within your business where 8 years later, going 9 years later, you wouldn't be here if you didn't pretty much get over this first obstacle, which is the review or people not paying. And I want to mention this because I firmly believe in this, Cristobal, and as a business owner, you can relate to it as well, which is when you were working that job, the problem that you were solving was getting people a car, right? The number one problem is you're the middleman between somebody's car and also that person and connecting them. And then you go to your management. Your management doesn't solve the problem of connecting somebody with a car. He's now solving problems that you bring to him. He brings to him. This person brings to him, and that manager solves like 10 people's problems. So out of everybody, the salesman, the manager's making the most money. Now let's go above, which is like district manager. And then you go all the way to CEO. The CEO then manages these people, these bigger problems. So something that I want to not have people kind of like have it go in one ear and out the other is when you're building a business, get ready to solve some big problems, refunds, reviews. Hopefully never, but if you were to get sued, like you're going to be the one. Look at these really big companies right now, Twitter, Facebook. When they get sued, the CEO has to sit down and actually go through that process, not an employee, right? The CEO himself has to be sitting there saying the right things, going through the process and solving this huge problem, because one slip up is all it takes for his business to go down, right? But the CEO needs to be the face of that. So I want to highlight that the problems that you solved were critical because you understood that if we get through this, knowing the another thing is you've already had a track record of $18,000, $16,000 a month. You then recall back, like, holy crap, am I going to let one or two negative problems affect like this huge like growth that we've had without even going all in? And to you, obviously, reason why you're here today is because you realize as a business owner, this stuff happens. It's going to be business at every level. Like you said, there's going to be a devil at every level, and it's just gradual growth. The more you grow, the bigger it gets, and that's business for you, right? And I wanted to highlight that for everybody. And I want to follow up with this question here. And I feel like a lot of people who are not just starting out their business, but they're at that $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, either it's in commercial or residential. When times get tough, like for example, an employee calls out, what goes through Cristobal's mind as a business owner?
That is a great question. So when I started, I will freak out. I mean, like like when I start getting my first no shows, I will freak out. I didn't know what to do because I'm like, man, I have this calendar. I have 2 houses for days route. The cleaner don't show up. I have to go with my wife to do this other route, and then I have my other employee taking care of this one. What am I gonna do? Honestly, it's not the end of the world. Whenever that happens, because it happens now, we're bigger, right? And all the time, life happens to the girls. Sometimes they forgot to let us know that, hey, they had a doctor's appointment with their kid. I'm sorry, I didn't tell you on time, but I had to take my my kid to the doctor, or I have to go to school, or maybe they're, dealing with some other personal stuff. Life happens. Honestly, it's as simple like if you don't get a no-show, hey, let's figure it out. Call the customer, let them know, hey, we had a small incident. Is it okay if I can move you for tomorrow? 9 out of 10 times the customer is not gonna care. Unless it was an emergency for them, they might say, well, no, I really need someone here. Then okay, then let's figure it out. Let's try to move some of the other customers around. You can always reschedule. But before, I'll literally freak out and I'll feel like the end of the world was here. And honestly, guys, don't overthink it, right? It's people will also understand that life happens. Say, hey, we had some incidents, whether it's like there's a girl that got sick or whatever. Can I put you on the schedule tomorrow? And because of the inconvenience, I'm gonna give you $30 credit for tomorrow's cleaning. Customers will always just okay with it.
That's awesome. Cristobal, you also coach people as well within their business, and you probably face this a lot, which is like, oh, somebody called off. I had to go fill in real quick. And this is why I can't grow my business, because every time somebody calls off, I got to jump in and I got to go and I got to do it. And then they're like, well, Cristobal, man, like, how do I get out of my business? Like, how do I like stop working in it? And I'm like, well, first of all, number one is your belief. The belief that you have to hop in and do it is the belief that it's going to keep you in that cycle, right?
That's
right. So the thing that you mentioned was powerful, which is, well, as a business owner, I don't want to go clean, right? I don't want to be the one. Maybe like there's some cleaning owners who don't even know how to clean. They know how to operate and grow a business. So they're like, I don't want to clean. What comes next? You figuring out a solution for this problem that just now has arisen. In your shoes, it's calling, rescheduling, and then giving the client a credit, and the client leaves happy. And then there might be some companies where, you know, they're like, okay, great. Well, I can't clean. I'm the CEO. Even if I can, I'm not, because that's not the mindset. I got to go call maybe a list of people that isn't working today and maybe see if they can fill in, right? Because the moment you get rid of the belief of I have to jump in and do this, is the moment you start you pretty much no longer work inside the business, because either you control it or it controls you. And 100%. That belief right there, and I wanted to highlight this because I know your answer, and that's why you're where you're at today, where you don't pick up the mop, you don't pick up the broom and go clean. You're there solving problems, right? And doing so allow your business to grow. So great response. I knew you were going to say something, which is why a lot of people who are watching this, I want to highlight it. Your belief of needing to fill in for this employee that called off is the exact reason you'll never get out of working in your business. Okay. Another question. A lot of people want to grow their business, man. And to me, growth starts with, you know, branding your business, but also generating leads, right? Yeah. Generating people who are interested, raising their hand. How have you been able to structure your lead generation system, your marketing, to be able to funnel in new clients every single month, raising their hands? Like, how do you do it?
Great question, man. And this goes back to, to the skills I learned at the car dealership. When, you don't get like loads of people at the dealership. Usually you get one or two people. They call them ops, like people walking in. But while you're not getting anything going on, you have to really grab a call log. All dealers have a call log. Your job is grab that book and start dialing. Start dialing. Right? You're going to get through a lot of no's to get to a yes, but that's how you make money. So I already had that understanding of doing the follow-up. The money is on the follow-up. That's what they used to tell me. And it's true. It's true.
100%.
So when I started, right, I'm like, well, all I know is post ads on Craigslist. That's going to get me some calls. But what can I do? I don't want to be waiting. I need to be calling. So with the little knowledge that I had at the time, I'm like, hey, let me go to Google. What are businesses out there that I can sell my services to? Property managers, construction companies, daycares, churches, right? And I would just go and property managers in Seattle. I'll get a list. You got the phone number. Hey, call them up. They're all gonna say, I already have a cleaner. I already have someone that takes care of it. Doesn't matter. Next one. I like to think this way, like some will, some won't, so what? Next. Eventually, you start getting into the flow of things. You get a yes, that property manager has 20 properties, boom, now you got your calendar booked. So it's just a numbers game. Now, I did that from the beginning. I think it was one of the reasons that we scale fast, because I was not waiting for the phone to ring. I was proactively making phone calls.
Yeah.
Then the moment started getting more and more busy, we started growing more. I'm like, I need to delegate this because it takes time. It really does.
100%.
So I started, having my virtual assistants, and they're like, hey, can you call back, do follow up with customers that already cancel, right? Even people who cancel, you can reach out back to them, hey, reactivate them, bring them back. And so you become this, I guess, like a snowball. And one of the things actually I want to mention here is when I heard you guys were essentially doing lead generation, I jumped in because my VAs, they're already tapped out. They're already handling the day-to-day business, following up with existing customers or past customers. I'm like, hey, me and his company are actually doing lead generation. Let's outsource that, right? And let's have an expert do that. And that's what I've been doing. Actually, it's been close to 6 months now, man, and nothing but happy, right? What I like about you guys, you listen to the customer. I told you guys, hey, I want construction companies, I want property managers, I want realtors. Boom. That's all the leads I'm getting from you guys. Now, do everybody convert? No, but that's okay. It's a numbers game. Some will, some won't, so what? Next. That's it. And so if you're starting, doesn't matter what stage you are, you cannot be waiting for the phone to ring. Mm-hmm. You have a customer database that you can use that is always money that is money sitting on your computer, on your database. Use that, reactivate and run some ads. In order to grow, when you guys get to 20K, I see this happening over and over again. When you get to 20K, obviously you got to 20K by referrals, by word of mouth, by grinding, right? That's great. That's gonna get you to that level. And then from there, people are afraid to invest, are afraid to put money into marketing, because what if I spend $1,000, man? I'll rather keep that 1,000 here, right? Don't see it this way. When you get to the 20K, even after 10K, invest money in marketing. Think it about as an ATM machine. Marketing, you're gonna put $1 in, and you're gonna get $2 out. If I had that machine in front of me, I'm gonna do that all day long. I'm gonna put $1, I'm gonna get $2 back. I'm gonna $1, I'm gonna get $2 back. That's why you guys need to get, in this mindset. Like, it takes money to make money. Mm-hmm. Now, make an investment. Get with companies that know what they're doing, right? Hey, I want to grow. I want to invest in growth. Now, it's not a magic bullet, right? You can hire companies; they're gonna do the job. But now it's up to you to sell. So get prepared, get ready. One thing I learned from you guys is, and it's amazing, is whenever you get a lead, whether it's a car dealership, construction company, do your research. Go and Google that company, see who owns it, do a little bit of research, right? Make some notes, because when you're gonna have the appointment, hey, I saw your website, you're doing great things, and tell me more about it, right? You are come prepared to those meetings, and they like that because you took the time to learn about that customer, and they really, that's the difference versus just going there and like, oh yeah, I'm here for an appointment, and you're all nervous and whatnot. It's not gonna work. Take your time, study the leads, and then go and prepare. And I guess that's one of the things I want to mention is, don't be afraid to invest in marketing. You have to put money, and the moment you start putting money, you're gonna get the money back. I want you guys to lose the fear of spending money. It's not spending, it's an investment. Mm-hmm. When you invest money, you're gonna get a return. It's 100%. Not like you're gonna waste the money. So I really think that everybody who's at that level, the only way to grow is by investing money. Invest in paid ads, invest in outsourcing your lead generation, and then get good at sales. That's it. No, there's no other way. There's no secret sauce. It's just do the work, invest in marketing, and start closing some deals.
I love it. I'm gonna actually share my screen just to show everybody. Yesterday, this person, do you do construction cleaning, residential construction? Thank you so much for reaching out. I'm in the market for new cleaners and will be interested in meeting. Can we arrange something next week, right? So these are opportunities that are generated with Cristobal working with us. But some of the key things you mentioned that I want to highlight, number one is sales, right? Not everybody is, in the boat where, for example, Cristobal, you had experience in sales when it comes to car sales, right? But at the end of the day, this is what helped me get into sales, because I didn't get into sales. And when I was 18 years old, I started my company and I didn't know how to sell, right? I was super awkward in school, just outside, didn't know how to communicate, had a hard time, staring at my teacher in the eyes and answering a question, right? So how did I go from that to like learning how to sell? And something that you mentioned there is the confidence. And what helped me build confidence is preparation. So a lot of people that are going to these walkthroughs and they're nervous, I know exactly why. It's because they didn't prepare enough for that specific walkthrough. And so because of that, they don't have what confidence is all about, which is self-belief, right? That's truly what confidence is, self-belief, doing pretty much doing what you tell yourself you're going to do over and over again, then builds confidence. So when people are like, hey man, like what's the secret for me to, convert more people on walkthroughs? How can I close more deals? I'm like, number one is you have to first put in the reps. Like, are you even practicing? Are you watching sales trainings? Are you, educating yourself on what you need to, how to present yourself? Like, are you spending any time on that? Like, no, man, I'm too busy working in my business. I'm too busy cleaning. Here, guys, high level. I rather, if a client calls me and say, hey, can I have somebody come clean tomorrow? You have nobody. I rather you as a business owner ring somebody up and say, hey, I need you there tomorrow. And you hang up and you go back to educating yourself on sales, marketing, rather than going, yes, I can. You drop everything you're doing here, go and fulfill that job. Because when you're learning, that compound allows you to grow your business 10 times more than if you just go clean one home, one location, one time, right? So your time is better spent educating and learning and then being able to execute for more business. So some of the things you highlighted was so key, which is educating yourself on the lead, the opportunity, and the client before ever going out and doing it, because then it makes you that much more confident. And that's with anything. When you study for a test, right? The more you study, the more confident you become that you're going to pass it. And people
perfect example
some of those things, man. People forget it.
That's right.
And because they go into business and they think business is some complex, you can't, it's impossible to grow but in reality, business and scaling, like we help companies scale, and it's as simple, it's super simple, and people just overlook it. And this is truly because of this. People question other people's belief, but never take a moment to question their own. And so because of that, they're never able to actually understand that because you're here, it's all because of your belief. Question it. Is what I'm believing in the correct thing? And this is where people don't invest, Cristobal, is they think that whatever they believe in is correct. And so because of that, their belief isn't around making 10,000, investing 2-3 grand to making 20 the next month. It's making 10, taking it, and then getting back into working and making another 10. And that belief right there is the reason why people are stuck in their business, right? And that's one of many beliefs. So if you were, let's just say, ideally starting from zero, right? From scratch, and I go, Cristobal, you're starting from zero tomorrow. Who would be, I was going to ask, like, what would you do? But I would ask, what are some of the key hires that you would start making, right? If you were to start from zero, what are some of the key hires you would start making to help you hit your first $10,000, $20,000 a month, like within 9 days? What are some key hires?
Oh, that's an easy answer. First of all, obviously, if I were to start all over again, knowing what I know now, right? Let's say I relocate to a new state and I'm going to start here from zero. First thing, I'm just going to get all the first thing is like the basis, right? I'm going to get all my social media profiles taken care of, right? I'm going to put pictures, I'm going to put all the information that the customer needs. That's key. Once I have that foundation, okay, who I'm going to hire? I'm going to hire people that has experience, right? If I'm going to start again, I don't want to be training. I'm going to put some ads, Craigslist, Indeed. Hey, I'm looking for someone who at least has a year experience, right? Okay. Doesn't matter, just 1 year. Get some people under you, and this is what you can do if you were starting. You can start paying commission. You can go 2 routes. If I'm starting, maybe you don't have the money to pay an employee, no problem. Start with subcontractors. You don't have to pay by the hour. Hey, look for some smaller companies. There are tons of them that don't know how to generate leads. Okay, great. You get in touch with them. Hey, would you be interested in getting more jobs? Yes. This is what I would do. I will go to Thumbtack, and I'm gonna hire someone as a cleaner for my house. I'm gonna see how they work, and then right when they're at my house, I say, would you be interested in getting more jobs? What do you think they're gonna say? Yes, I would like to get more jobs. Great. I have a company, I'm about to start it. I'm gonna send you some jobs. We're gonna pay you commission. How's that sound? Good. That's it. Okay, great. Now I have people that is gonna be able to take on the jobs. I'm not gonna pay by the hour, right? Now, number 2, this is the second hire, a virtual assistant, guys. I'm telling you, if looking back, I wish I would have got my virtual assistant sooner. A lot of people see the virtual assistant as an expense. It's not, guys. It's not. It's gonna allow you to remove from the day-to-day. That person is gonna be making sales calls for you, but then also you can ask them, hey, start calling, start making me appointments. In this case, I will do this. Hey, your job is gonna be from 10 to 2. Maybe, I don't have a big budget to start. Let's start in part-time. The busiest hours are from 10 to 2 p.m. During that time, you're gonna answer the phone calls, but then also you're gonna reach out, go to Facebook, look for property managers, construction companies, reach out to them and make appointments for me. So I can go and introduce myself. I can tell, hey, my name is Chris, I'm going to be cleaning. We just moved into the area. Hey, sell yourself. If you're doing this, I'll get to 6 figures in less than a month. It's just like, you have to figure out, be resourceful, I guess, be resourceful. Now, let's say, I don't want to have subcontractors because, the quality is not there. That's just a self-belief. When there are subcontractors, they know what they're doing. But let's say you want to have full control of the company. You want to have training. You want to have uniforms. You want to have, full control. Great. Nobody's telling you no. Start with subcontractors. Once that you get to 3 months, you're generating, I don't know, 15K, 20K. Now your business can easily afford an employee. You start with 1 employee, 2 employees, but now your business is already generating money. There's ways, guys. There's you just have to think outside the box and see, like, how can I get there faster, right? That's what I would do. I'll start with some contractors. I don't have to worry about payroll taxes, workers' comp, no hourly wages. I just pay by commission. Great, they get paid. I get to 20K. Okay, now I want employees. I'm gonna use that money. I'm gonna hire my first, second employee, and I'm gonna start doing this. Eventually, if I want to leave, let the subcontractors go, that's great. I'm already making 20K, 30K. Now my business can easily sustain the growth. And then from there, it's hands-on and just pedal to the floor, man. Just go all in. That's what I would do.
That's awesome. So recapping it. So Cristobal starts from zero. First key hire is more on finding and being resourceful to find a contractor, someone who can take on the work for you. And then number 2 key hire is a virtual assistant, a sales representative, somebody who can take over making calls, prospecting, generating leads and appointments for you. So two key hires if you were to start from zero. And the reason why I asked that instead of say, what would you do? Right. And even if I asked you what you would do at your level, obviously you would say those 2 things. But most business owners, they're like, well, I don't know, man, maybe I should go and, cold call. Maybe I should go and do this. Maybe it's a lot of I should do this. But for you to get to 10, 20, 30K and do it in a fast manner, you need to start thinking about who can help me get there. Who should I go and find that can help me get to where I want to be? Because at the end of the day, you have 24 hours. I have 24 hours. Beyonce, Drake, Jay-Z, LeBron, they all have 24 hours, right? So at the end of the day, we don't have all the time in the world to sit and call and then do proposals and then do our social media. We got to start being resourceful and then being able to delegate certain things. One key thing, people come to me all the time. People probably come to you, Cristobal, and say, and you mentioned this a little bit. Well, contractors, the quality isn't there. I want to build my business with great quality. And I asked them this: you don't have a business yet. Everything that you're telling me right now is a belief that somebody told you. So then you believed it. Why don't you question it?
100%.
Right? Because you never experienced any contractors. You're just taking somebody else's belief and then putting it in your life, which is why a lot of people have a hard time growing, because they're taking others' belief. But in reality, the number one place you got to go to learn is the lessons that you learn in your life, right? And then if you want to go learn from other people and you want to be like, okay, cool, I want to be like Cristobal, I want to build a business like Cristobal, take his lessons, his advice, take it with a grain of salt and go out and actually execute and then form your own opinion, own strategy. Because what works for Cristobal might not work for you, but maybe you know something he doesn't, or he knows something you don't. And that can separate you from, other competitors in business. So I wanted to go over that truthfully, because there's so many business owners where they're looking to grow their business. And the first thing they do is like, what should I do? Well, what you should do is look for other people who can help you. And in your case, again, it's finding a contract, somebody to fulfill. And number 2 is somebody who, in this case, virtual assistants or sales representative to be able to take over and answer calls and obviously prospect. And you have to be there to train them. What is one piece of advice you would give for somebody right now that is currently at a point in their business where, they're doing okay. They're doing what I like to call enough to sustain, to be comfortable, to live. And they're just right there. And I give you the opportunity, Cristobal, to speak with that specific person, because you and I both know the moment you get comfortable, the moment you get satisfied, the moment you're okay with this it's an upcoming disaster. So how would you go about kind of helping somebody that is comfortable, that is satisfied, that is okay where they're currently at, to get them to flick that switch to go like, wait a minute, I'm doing 10, 20K. Yes, it's enough for me to feed my family. Yes, it's enough for me. But what if I lose some of those clients, right? So what would you say in the piece of advice to end the live stream here and interview today?
Absolutely. You mentioned it actually. Get uncomfortable. Yeah. The moment you get comfortable, right, that you stop growing. And that's what I call, that's a slow death. Eventually, you start going downhill. When you're like, oh, I'm okay with this. Inflation keeps going up, things going up. And if you don't get out of your comfort zone, that's what I call a slow death, right? Get outside your comfort zone. how you do this, right? In my case, this is what I do. I'm already at this level. I want more. And not because I'm greedy, it's because I like the challenges, right? I like the challenge. I like to see how much I can make. In my case, I want to get myself into air duct cleaning, right? That's an easy service that I can add to my residential. I don't know anything about it. I already contacted a company in Oregon. They're gonna do training for me. I'm gonna go 1 full week. I'm gonna get there. I don't know anything about it. I'm gonna train myself. I'm gonna learn skills. You have to learn skills, whatever it is. That's one thing. So learn the skills. But number two, learn how to delegate. You actually mentioned earlier, right? It's all about I have to do. I have at the beginning, but the moment you learn it, you wanna create a manual, whether it's a video, document, something that you can give to other persons so they can follow. Now, a lot of people overthink this. SOP is what we call, right? Standard operating procedures. Oh, that's hard. It's not hard. Actually, if you think it's hard, you're thinking it wrong. You have to make it easy, simple that your grandma can follow. That's it. And break it down in simple steps. That's number one. The moment you start putting down what you have in here into a document or a video, then you can have someone else take on that position, so you can go and do some other skill, learn some other stuff, do the same thing, repeat on over, and delegate. There is a book I wanna recommend. I just finished it. It's called "Buy Back Your Time" by Dan Martell. Man, I've heard about so many books about time management and whatnot. Honestly, I just finished it reading last week. It's my number one book now for anyone. "Buy Back Your Time" by Dan Martell. It really condenses everything in simple matter, and essentially the title of the book is "Buy Back Your Time." How do you do that? You hire people so you can have some time for you, so you can do high revenue activities. It's not like you're gonna just be sitting at home and like, oh, you have people doing it, I'm not gonna do it. No. You're gonna hire that people so you can do more money making activities. The moment you make this jump and you stop believing that it's gonna cost you money, you're just gonna start making more money, because it's not gonna cost you money. It's allowing you to buy back your time. We all can make money, but none of us can make time. So how do you fix that? You buy your time back by hiring other people. And that's how you grow.
As you mentioned that book, "Buy Back Your Time," I just went on Amazon, and it's on the way to my house. So
there you go.
I'm gonna be taking a read at this book.
Buddy, this is crazy though. A lot of the stuff that you're gonna read, you probably heard it in the 12-year week, maybe From Good to Great, other business books. But the way you can tell he read those books, but now he puts them in a simple way that you can, man, I'm definitely doing this. Or maybe I was already doing some of that, but not fully. I was kind of like halfway in, half out. Guys, spend that, it's like $20.
$25, guys.
It's gonna give you so much time back. I'm telling you guys, get it. And it's not too thick. It's not like one of those books like Principles from Ray Dalio, takes a month to read. This 2 weeks, you're done. Apply what you learned there, and you're gonna see results the very same day. I promise you guys.
Oh man, I can't wait. It's gonna come tomorrow. I'm gonna spend the weekend reading it. Buy Back Your Time. Great book. In Cristobal's suggestion here, I'm gonna go ahead and take a read at it and then make a post in the group, my feedback on it. But some key things I want to cover before we end the interview here today. Number one, Cristobal, honestly, this is from my feedback, did not get here because he randomly woke up one day and was like, okay, great. Like, let's just get uncomfortable. Let's just, build a business. No. Cristobal went through life figuring out like, holy crap, I don't want this job. Like I really, it's a great job. It's security. A lot of people have a hard time letting go of jobs that are like, give them benefits, right? I'm telling you guys right now, the system is created to have you prioritize benefits, prioritize a consistent paycheck, so you continue to work for them. But in reality, how you get really free is the ability to work for yourself and build a business, right? So some key things. Number one, buy back your time. Start investing into people. Start investing into your self-education. Start investing into virtual assistant, sales representative to take and make calls for you. And number two, being able to be resourceful, looking for ways to solve a problem that doesn't include you having to do the things that are lower level tasks. Like if somebody doesn't show up to work, you should not be the one that comes in and clean. You got to either call the client, do what Cristobal does, which is call them, apologize, reschedule, give them a credit, or you go and you figure out who you can plug in to actually do that job right there and then, and allow you to have the time. Now, number three, something that I pulled and got out of this as well is being able to be self-aware of your belief and questioning your belief, because like I mentioned earlier, people question other people's beliefs, but never take time to question their own. So if you don't take time to question your own belief, which is your belief creates your reality, if you don't question it and you're questioning other people,
that's right.
That's probably a disconnect on why you're not able to create the life that you want. But I want to leave one huge key point here. What made Cristobal successful wasn't because he entered into an industry that nobody knew about. It's the cleaning industry. It's a very high demand, very popular industry. But what made you truly successful is you understanding the concept of being able to run a business and not let the business run you.
That's right.
Right? Because at the end of the day, you're not a cleaner. You don't clean. You run a cleaning business, right? But you don't clean. And a lot of these business owners out here right now, they're saying, I'm a cleaning business. No, you're cleaning for the business. The business owns you, right?
That's
the business is its own. You work within the business, right? So, Cristobal, last words for everybody here. Anything, any thoughts, any feedback, any advice, anything you want to share before we go ahead and jump off of here and let everybody enjoy, and of course ourselves enjoy the rest of the Friday here. And any last words, any feedback, any advice?
I will say, touching back to what you said earlier, a lot of people put a lot of weight on other people's opinions, and then you make that your reality. Don't stop listening to other people. Try yourself. Do it and do you. Whatever you thinking about doing, and do it. Hey, like you mentioned earlier, a lot of people have a bad opinion about subcontractors because I was told that they don't have. No. That's a myth. Go and try yourself. Test the waters by yourself and make your own decisions. Yeah, it's good to listen to other people's opinions, but take it with a grain of salt. You don't want to put weight on other people's opinions because actually that drives you back. They put fears on things that they might never even happen, right? So stop listening to other people, negative thoughts. Surround yourself with other business entrepreneurs that are like, I don't know how this saying goes, but like, you're the six people, whoever you hang out with, you're gonna become the six, and that's right. You want to have a victim mentality. You're gonna be hanging with those people. You want to have a successful mentality. You want to surround with those people. Right? Always challenging yourself to get out of that comfort zone. So don't get comfortable. Whatever you are, keep going. There's more to life. And number two, find a balance, right? Don't get burned out. I see this a lot of times. People get burned out. Oh, it's because I'm doing everything and I do everything. Well, yeah, because that's you said it. You're doing everything. You have to find a balance. Buy back your time so you can do the things that you enjoy, right? And also you give the opportunity to someone else to make money. That's what I will say.
That's awesome. And I'm going to end it with just letting everybody know, because you mentioned something crucial, which is you are who you surround yourself with, right? So the top 5 people you surround yourself with, you're going to be the 6. And that's mindset, environment, beliefs, right? And so I'm gonna give a huge shout out because we're coming out with something in May, and this is something that we're creating currently for Scale My Cleaning Business. And we're creating a private community, and we're doing it on a software. I don't know if Cristobal, there's a software called School. Sam Ovens.
I heard about it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So we're creating a community on School right now for any cleaning business owners and the exact cleaning business owners that are a good fit for this, because we're building a community. There's trainings, there's coaching, the whole 9 yards for the cleaning industry. And it's more specific or more towards commercial industries, and we're creating it right now, and it's coming out in May. But some of the things you pointed out, which is like the 5 people that you hang around with, you're going to be the 6th. Well, some people, they're still in the old environment. They're still around people that aren't really going to be beneficial for them. So we're creating this community and letting in the right people. So when you join the community, you're surrounded by like-minded, growth-minded, motivated, inspirational cleaning business owners. So when you're not around the right people here, you're in a community where we're sharing ideas, we're going over solutions, we're going over the proper mindset, the beliefs, and you have a community, a family where you can go to that doesn't have to be right there with you every single day. So that's what we're building right now for Scale My Cleaning Business. Obviously, Cristobal, you know, we do like 90% of the lead generation, but we're creating this secondary thing because we realize that being part of a community and having the right people around you that drives you, push you, because a lot of people, they don't have that in their environment. So we want to create this where they can go and they can join this community, and it's going to be coming out early May. And it's going to allow people to join and be part of an amazing community, man. So I just want to give a little quick shout out to that.
Brother, thank you for sharing that. I'm looking forward, man. You guys really have a great program, and this is what I like about you guys. You actually have coaching. You know, you teach people how to do the things. No, you're just doing it like, hey, I'm gonna teach you sales. I'm gonna teach you do that. Hey, that's amazing, guys. You really are doing something special. So super happy to be part of it, and thank you for having me, man. I really enjoyed today's talk.
Appreciate it, man. It's always a great talk, having a conversation with you and allowing you to share some of the knowledge that's gotten you to, you know, building a 7-figure business with the community here. So more of Cristobal inside the private community. So if you want access to some high level people, you got to join some high level communities. So I appreciate it so much. Enjoy the rest of your Friday, man. We'll connect and enjoy your weekend.
You too, my brother. Take care.
Awesome. See ya.
See you guys.